Stop! Sure you want the rest of it?
Dirty Harry Minute. Dirty Harry Minute. Dirty Harry Minute Podcast. Dirty Harry Minute Podcast.
Every penny's worth.
Welcome back to Dirty Harry Minute, a podcast that reviews and ruins every minute of the 1971 Warner Brothers movie Dirty Harry. I'm John, and I'm joined as usual with my fellow co-hosts
Tim.
Louder,
Tim.
Louder,
Tim.
and Trent.
Trent.
There we go.
Tim.
Got him. We're returned by
David.
and Ben,
Hello.
whose opinion of this minute is better than the last.
Oh, yeah, it's getting better minute by minute.
Minute.
There's the intense lens flare that you see, especially when they look down at the lights. This was, 1971. Listening to the commentary, I think, on Die Hard by John McTiernan, talking about how, that movie had a lot of lens flare. That's, 89?
88, yep.
And saying that they had to fight in order to keep it in because the studio would generally make them reshoot anything that had a lens flare in it.
As it was a mistake or a
Yeah.
process
So
of-
by the late 80s, you weren't lens flare was really poo-pooed. So I wonder if that was because there's not much aside from this scene that has it. So I wonder if it was just one of those things that they couldn't get around, and then once they sort of could get around, they didn't want it anymore, or it was just a taste sort of thing.
I think there's some great lens flare on the Trestle Bridge, which I love later in the movie, the sun bouncing off.
And now it's all fake lens flare.
Yeah.
Well, who does it besides J.J. Abrams? I mean, he's the main guy who does it, right?
Come back to movies,
Yeah,
John
that's-
McTiernan. he hasn't done anything since.
Well, he went to prison for a while.
What? Really?
Yeah, because he hired, I'm going to bastardize this, but he hired a private investigator or something to investigate his ex-wife or something.
really?
Anyway, and then I think he went to prison for contempt of court. It wasn't, serious, but yeah.
Yeah, right.
What's the last thing he directed? This guy's done Predator, right? Die Hard.
Hunt for the Reddit.
Yeah. He didn't direct that Drive with Sylvester Stallone, or was that
Oh, that
Wolfgang?
one.
No, that other.
That was...
He's a pretty competent action director.
Who? John McTiernan?
Yeah.
Yeah, Predator and
Yeah, exactly.
Die Hard. He didn't have to make another movie after that.
So was the studio successful in Die Hard? They got him to remove some of it, or?
Oh, no. Die Hard had lots of it. They sort of went the other way. And
When I remember it most, not the obvious bit, I think when when the FBI is talking about shutting down the power and it's got the guy down there,
Yeah.
shut it all down, yeah.
I suppose it might have been just one of those things that because they had so many spotlights and stuff, to show that there was just no way of getting around it, so you may as well lean into it. But I just, he mentioned that it was obviously had gone out of favour during the 80s.
He had a couple of interesting ones after Hunt for the Red October. Flight of the Intruder he produced, so it doesn't count. Medicine Man with Sean Connery.
Oh, really?
And then in 95 he did Die Hard with a Vengeance, which is a miracle considering in 93 he did The Last Action Hero.
Yeah, but you know what? That was actually really successful.
Yeah, you're right. It was,
It was
too.
terrible. And I actually, it was on Netflix or something, and I tried to watch it, and it was just ghastly.
The 13th Warrior,
Rollerball.
Yeah, Antonio Banderas
Rollerball.
fantasy film. I think that was a flop.
Thomas Crown Affair remake with the Brosnan.
Do you reckon he was a fan of Dirty Harry?
Who?
McTiernan.
I don't think you couldn't really direct action movies without, being a fan of this, really.
Did you notice how Eastwood, I reckon he was stumbling through a few of the lines? Legs are with which and which arms with which. I think it was definitely a one take, some of these shots. Which I guess they had to be up there.
I wonder if he ad-libbed some of it,
Once again, to me, I love this minute because it's one of the real times you see Clint laughing, it's genuine. And I think you've seen Thunderbolt and Lightfoot, Trent. There's that scene in the car where he's sort of, with the rabbit poo, he's laughing with Jeff Bridges. You can actually tell it was an ad-lib line. He's like... And I got a quote here. This is a real one. Pauline Kael, the reviewer who hated Dirty Harry, talked about Clint's mischief-filled Shirley MacLaine smile.
Shirley MacLaine smile.
Yeah. Because you see it so rarely, and I think it's just a good bit of acting. Clint, don't you
So
think?
he
Danger?
doesn't
Yeah.
he doesn't laugh much.
Not really. Think about this movie. When does he do it? You wouldn't believe me if I told you. And a few other times.
After he
Bank heist.
Yeah.
and Chico, like when he meets Chico and
Yeah, that's right.
Linguini guy says something to him.
I'm sure there'd be a great smile, but his back's away. His face is away from us when he goes sociology. You go far. After hey, I got to know.
He smiles then.
Do you have any comments about this minute, Danger?
No.
Not a fan.
Yeah, I mean, most of it is like him going down the cherry picker and everything. It's just a little bit dull. Yeah. I mean, there's the conversation they're having, and that's okay, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's particularly funny or anything. Yeah.
How would John Wayne have talked down a suicide Ben?
I really haven't watched that many John Wayne movies.
Or a Burt Lancaster, your
Oh,
favourite.
Burt Lancaster. Yeah.
Well, how would a Michael Madsen do it? We'll just go.
No, I do stand by the thing that I reckon like Burt Lancaster would probably have made a better Dirty Harry than Clint Eastwood. I'm just going to like put that out there. That's the unpopular opinion.
But they didn't listen to you, so
They did, I'm not consulted at all. And just like, because I wasn't born, it should not be an excuse.
Get down off that ledge, Pilgrim. You got so much to live for.
I think when I first watched this, which would have been, I don't know, when I was 14, 15 or so.
You're hoping he'd fall?
No, I probably took what Larry was saying in a literal sense, and I remember thinking, it's like, he can't say that, which is maybe how this guy's reacting.
Oh, actually, is there a possibility that maybe... Well, is the anecdote fake? Is it totally fake?
Yeah,
Or-
it seems to me like it's fake.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you guys think it's real?
Yeah, probably fake.
Yeah. It seems like it might have gone on for a little bit longer and been chopped up, cut down, sorry. Because he says, don't like throw up on the people down there. And then the guy's like, gets really upset. It's like, you bastard. And like, doesn't seem like the kind of comment that would have,
Yeah.
Yeah.
just
Like pushed him over the edge.
Yeah. It wasn't a personal thing or anything. It was just like, don't vomit on the crowd. It's like, how dare you? I'll vomit whatever I feel like.
Well, there's
That's
another...
probably true.
There are a few threats of vomiting in this movie. Later on, Chico, I think I'm going to throw up when he sees the Charlie Russell's bloody face. And later on. Is the cherry picker descending more action-packed danger than when it's ascending?
No, I mean, it's basically the same. I guess the interesting thing in this scene is just the beginning of it, this conversation. And yeah, I think you're right, and I think it is cut down because it kind of doesn't make sense. What are they talking about? Yeah, but I think one interesting thing in this is the way the crowd reacts. And you can't hear it, but when you read the subtitles, you can really see it. The crowd are all saying, oh man, that Harry, he's bad, or that cop shouldn't have done this, and he didn't have to hit him, and blah, blah, blah. So that, fits in with just watching it again now.
Yeah.
He hit the poor man, he hit him, the whole crowd is saying. But of course, he's saving his life. So you're meant to dislike the crowd. It's a really anti the way America is going. It's anti... young people, I guess, this film. It's saying that the average person is not respecting police, not respecting authority. Aren't they stupid? Because he's saved this guy's life. So I think that's the most interesting thing in this scene. He saves his life, but people don't respect him for him punching him in the face.
Yeah.
But he needs to punch him in the face in order to, calm him, to stop him from doing something.
The people down below, it's sort of maybe an analogy of the justice system. They're just looking at the whole... They're elevated high up. They can't hear what the exchange is between them. But they're expecting, that doesn't look like justice because you've acted violent to him and brought him down. But it's society looking... these abstractions of law and justice often take place elevated away from people.
Still, like, even if the guy sort of voluntarily, rather than sort of jumping at him, so yes, I'll give myself up and I'll get on the cherry picker with you and we'll go down. He should kind of still get punched in the face for wasting everybody's time. Really.
Why do you have to hang on to that?
Also, as we mentioned, sorry, Trent.
No, you go.
As we mentioned in the Hot Mary minutes, that there's a lot of ups and downs in this movie. Literally, like ascents and people looking down, people being elevated, standing on the trestle bridge on the can, and people being knocked down or.
Yeah, even the first shot, looking down from one building to another building. Yeah.
Yep, running down staircases later that Jesus.
Is it all just a function of having a sniper on a rooftop?
I guess so. But some people have mentioned it's a motif of a Western, battlements and walls and castles and things. The Alamo.
One thing we haven't mentioned is the name of the actor playing the suicide jumper.
Oh, yes. Something Couch, isn't it?
Bill Couch. Do you know much about him?
Well, no. I think he was a trapeze artist or a circus. Was he in a circus or something?
Yeah, he was. His brother's a stuntman, Chuck Couch. Bill.
His name is that Omanopia? Chucking couches, stunts.
Maybe.
Chucking couches.
Bill was a circus performer who specialised in high wire. Yeah, and then he became a stuntman. You look at most of his credits on IMDb as of
Is
August.
he a Southerner? I wonder where he was born.
I don't think it says where he was born. As of August 2018, he's got 62 credits for stunts, 42 credits as an actor up until 1987. He died in 99. Most of his credits are uncredited, including Dirty Harry, actually. But, I mean, that was very common at the time where, you'd get 15 people on the credits and they'd ignore the rest. So, yeah, he had a long career from... I'm just seeing what the earliest...
Trent, they were talking on the Team Effort podcast about whether stuntmen should be acknowledged with Academy Awards and so forth.
I mean, they're not, right?
No, I don't believe so. They
Isn't
just
that
brought it
what-
up in special
It's not
effects.
even part of those secondary or technical awards. They
No.
have?
No.
Pretty
Really?
bad, isn't it?
That's rubbish.
Yeah.
These days it might be hard to... Oh, it's obviously you can prove it, but with the special effects and whatever, certify that was what part of it is you.
Maybe their work will be rewarded with that most popular
yeah.
award.
I think Danny Trejo was interviewed and they asked him if he did his own stunts and he's like, "No, screw that. That's somebody's job. Why would I do that to make myself sound cool?" I suppose that was a dig at Tom Cruise.
This news just in, we've got an IMDb intervention. When the jumper grabs on the fire truck ladder, Harry holds his arm over the top rail. The next shot shows Harry holding the jumper's arm over the bottom rail.
Yeah, but there was a little bit of there was a cut away to another shot in between though.
You didn't hear that. So there, Ben. Well, yeah, Tim, you've been a bit quiet in this minute, did you?
Just admiring the punch.
Admiring the 70s crowd. Cool. It's just another example of Harry being a righteous dude, isn't it? He's always correct. Everything up until this point of the movie we've seen, he's always right. He was right to assume that the person wasn't collecting for the Red Cross. He was right about the bank robbery in progress. And, he's always getting those stupid results, Chief.
Has it ever been proven whether, that thing you see in cartoons where they hold the blankets underneath the...
Oh, yeah, we talked
to
about...
catch?
Yeah.
Does that work? I don't think it
Yeah,
works,
actually,
does it?
you can because you can do it with people if you get. I think you need fairly tensile
Material.
Yeah, and you get people standing around, and it can be like a human trampoline sort of thing.
Right,
Everyone
yeah.
pulls out. Yeah, I don't know that it's as popular maybe as it used to be because people get hurt so much more easily now than they did.
Previous guests, Blake and Redmond, have taken that up with the Bureau of Statistics. They're going to see how successful these things
Well,
are.
I just always wondered if they could do that. Why wouldn't you just have a big blanket underneath the
I think
jump
the
area?
consensus was it's as a last resort because,
I think maybe it's either takes too long to set up, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did it with like an inflatable air mattress now. sort of thing.
Yeah.
In fact,
That's what they do in Lethal Weapon, yeah?
Yeah. You can pause it and it shows the picture of the car and she hits the top of the car and you see that the whole mattress sort of...
Really?
Yeah. It's they've just put a photo of the car on top of the air mattress and there's a few frames where as she hits it, the whole thing comes and then it shows from a different shot.
Wow.
It's so dangerous in Lethal Weapon because Gibson handcuffs himself to the jump, right? And they jump off. And like, anything could go wrong. I mean, it's pretty steel, you know, when you...
Maybe I'm thinking of there was one where this, at the very beginning, it might have been Lethal Weapon 2, where this woman's just thrown off a balcony.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
In the first one, he handcuffs himself to the guy and they jump down. I'm like, it's pretty dangerous, those metal cuffs.
yeah, and rip your hand.
That one was a little bit different here. Obviously, it takes inspiration from this because he lights the cigarette. Gibson gives it to the other guy, and he's sort of got that gallows humor. But it's taking place in the daytime, I think. And so there's more stakes there. I suppose more people can see if something goes wrong if there's a splatter.
In the Police Academy stunt show at Movie World, wasn't there a bit where Rodney, the platinum the crowd, he falls off the building, or is it one of the
into the bin?
Into the bin.
That's right. And then gets up.
Whatever Rodney's doing there.
Moved on to SeaWorld.
There's a bit of fan fiction existing that Scorpio is actually a few meters above the jumper, and he's egging on the jumper to jump.
Did you write this fan fiction?
Do you reckon there's any truth in that, you think? Can we make that canon?
Wait, but what? So he's on the roof.
Scorpio's just above, like another Eve or Neve, what are they called? He's just above?
I thought he was on. The guy was standing on the roof, like.
Yeah, but I mean, I reckon this could be Scorpio's brother, and he's egging him on, like, yeah, jump,
Or
yeah.
it's a distraction.
There's also a second bit of unconfirmed fan fiction that Scorpio actually worked at the bank robbery, and that's where he kept his rifle in the safe. And but the manager sacked him. His manager sacked him, so to get back at the bank, he left it open for a popwell. Yeah.
Did he get his rifle? Like, did he? So he took the rifle to the bank when he was working at the bank.
That's right. He kept it in
right,
there, yeah.
and he didn't get fired for that.
No. Oh, perhaps that was part of the reason, yeah.
Then he got fired, and he took his rifle and went
Pretty
home.
confident this is canon now, Tim.
That would be interesting. You could like make a movie that wasn't a prequel so much as it was like what was happening in the in-between scenes of this, you know?
Yeah. Well, presumably, since we saw Harry and Chico in the North Beach around the strip clubs looking for the tan suitcase, it's probably all 20 minutes, maybe even quicker. And we last saw Scorpio in the day, you know, running down the steps. Do you reckon he's safely back in the stadium, Tim, or he's hanging around? I don't know how those helicopter boys left.
Didn't you say he's up on
Yeah, maybe. It's to be verified.
Oh, the straws are falling apart.
Maybe we can make a Netflix show.
Yeah, there's so much more to this movie than I ever realised. I hope he wasn't paying attention.
Well, danger. Harry,
Yeah.
Clint, are you enjoying him as an actor in these minutes?
Sure.
There's nothing really... he doesn't have to flex his muscles very much.
Yeah. I don't know what to say to that.
It's a difficult minute, Tim.
I'm in tears.
And do you know what we do in difficult minutes, Ben?
What's that?
You read quotes. These are real quotes.
You really wrote them.
The film's first act is largely devoted to establishing Callahan's character, situating him in his milieu and enlisting our sympathy for him. Harry is drawn as a classical American hothead at odds with conventional good manners. These scenes establish the fact that in the heat of the action, a policeman does not always have the luxury of consulting the rule book. Discuss, Danger.
Yeah, well, he definitely doesn't follow the rules in this. I'm sure that any guidebook wouldn't say, taunt the person who might jump. But the exact taunting, as we've already established, is pretty weak. So, yeah, I think, there's something missing from this scene.
I wonder what the fireman would have done if Harry didn't turn up. Come on, get down, I'll be your best friend.
Just ask the crowd. Please. Anybody want to like...
Got a cherry picker ready.
Why did you have to hit him? The crowd keeps on asking. Johnny says what he sees. You didn't have to hit him. And there's Louis Theroux. He has a small role. Wearing those black green glasses.
Wow.
The guy who says he hit him. He didn't have to hit him. Tim reminds me of Magnum Force. You know, the guy, he hit a good guy when Harry's doing the shooting course and Harry accidentally shoots a cop. He hit a good guy. He hit a good guy. And finally, we have a shot of the cocktail lights uncensored. There we go.
Is that like a reference to later on, or that he apprehends Scorpio, but injures him in the process or shoots him in the process, and because of that he has to let him go, because the same sort of thing, it's a shame, you hit that guy and that's not fair and all the rest of it. It's like, well,
could be. Oh, busted my nut on this one, Danger. I don't have anything else to say. You got anything to add, anyone?
I think we've
Looking forward to the
we've
next
done it.
minute, some resolution?
Yes.
Well, it's already been resolved.
I look forward to more fan fiction.
I want to know what's really going on with this movie.
We'll catch you next time on Dirty Harry Minute.